Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Hollywood Morgue podcast. How is everybody doing today? I'm here with my co-host, special guest, and YouTube friend, the Rambling Doc J. Doc J, how you doing today?
I am doing all right. Doing pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Yep. He owns his own bar, which means he gets to drink for free.
Although I generally don't drink at the bar, at least not until I close up and all the customers have left.
Yes. He makes sure that the stock is all there. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as you see from the title of the video, this is the part 2 of the underrated actors we were going to talk about. We made a list of 10 actors each. And for this episode, I'm going to let Doc go first. But before we get into that, I would like to highlight a actor who has passed on, Lamont Bentley. He was an actor in Tales from the Hood and a TV show called Moesha. Black actor, passed away. Iconic movies like Tales from the Hood, classic, horror movie, and underrated actor, gone too soon. So let's get a rest in peace, and thank you for your contributions on the Hollywood and your shows. He was in other shows too, but you can go look him up. I think Lamont Bentley is his name. But yeah, I'm gonna let Doc go first. What was your not his first pick, but what's your first one that you wanted to recognize? Underrated.
Just to get started with one that everyone's going to go, really? That's your pick? Hugh Laurie from House.
I can see it.
Now, everyone's always so impressed. Oh, wow, he's British. And he played that doctor with an American accent for years and years. Yeah. But Hugh Laurie is one of the greatest British comedians of my lifetime. He, after we lost Monty Python, when they, retired and went on their own way, Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry had a show, Laurie and Fry, that was just some of the most amazing comedy you're ever going to see. Plus, Hugh Laurie was on Blackadder. He's one of the comic greats. Very good blues musician, but imagine if Jim Carrey or Robin Williams did a serious medical show or a cop show on TV, and everyone knew them for that in another country.
Right.
And they're like, oh, I love Jim Carrey. Best TV doctor ever. It's like, Jim Carrey, he's the funny guy. Yeah, he's such a good Indian doctor.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, which makes sense. People who knew Andy Kaufman. Okay, this is weird because Andy Kaufman was big in the United States. Obviously, he was on Saturday. He had a brief stint on Saturday Night Live, but he was mainly known for Taxi. But if you watch him on TV, you watch him on Taxi. I mean, that's what you know him from. He was the guy from Taxi and SNL. But
right.
The other stuff he did a lot of stuff for attention, like fighting women in the ring, challenging Lawler to a fight, and cussing on the David Letterman show back in the 70s. That was hilarious. I've watched the interview I don't know how many times.
The hot coffee on Jerry the King Lawler's face.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Hot coffee on Jerry Lawler. Wearing a neck brace. It was like a couple months after he got the injury, and he still wore the neck brace. And Jerry Lawler smacked him, and he just threw coffee on him. But yeah, if you know Andy Kaufman from Taxi, you're like, oh yeah, he's this great guy, great comedian. But you didn't realize all the other stuff after that. Kind of not the same, but
no, it's exactly that. Only take that and make it a different country. So they don't know anything else. They're just like, oh, yeah. Like, imagine the Germans being like, David Hasselhoff, best singer ever. And it's like, David Hasselhoff.
No, Sweden. It's big. They're big in Sweden. ABBA and David Hasselhoff. For all those who didn't know, I learned this because I watched a very intelligent documentary series, very life changing, called Better Late Than Never, and David Hasselhoff makes an appearance on it. And apparently, his music is very big in Sweden, right next to ABBA. And so, in the movie, there is you get Terry Bradshaw, George Foreman, William Shatner, and Henry Winkler. They're in Sweden. All you see is David Hasselhoff comes out on the stage, and he's like, "I've been looking for freedom," and everything. And then you see Bjorn and Bjorn, is that his name? The people from ABBA. You see those guys come on the screen. They're like
Oh,
doing all that stuff. So it was entertaining, to say the least.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
sorry. Yeah, David Hasselhoff, underrated, underrated. Uh, and my next underrated actor is, funny enough, David Hasselhoff. I'm just kidding. No, it'd be funny if it was. No, are you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you?
No, I was just laughing.
No. Um, I guess I'll go. My first underrated actor that I was gonna pick was Evan Peters. Evan Peters, the actor, mostly known as some people may know as Quicksilver from the X-Men franchise, the dwindling X-Men franchise, and a lot of people may know him from his several characters on um, American Horror Story. And I bring him up because he's never. I mean, okay, you could say he's some of the main characters in American Horror Story, but he's never the main character in his own movie half the time. He usually plays a supporting character or a supporting, actor in a movie, but his performance usually and mostly outshines everybody else's
Yes.
because the way he controls the screen. Yeah, I just finished uh, I forgot, it's the fifth season of American Horror Story called American Horror Story Hotel. Um, and he's supposed to
Oh,
play this 20s kind of aristocrat type of person. He's like this really masochist. Sorry to spoil the show for you, but the show's been out for a long time, so you haven't seen it by now. Sorry. But he's kind of plays this masochist, kind of really dark, you know, but he's a classic gentleman. He wears suits. The way he talks with a kind of how you think the guys, you hear the people in the 30s TV shows and serials talk. They're like, ah, I see. Yeah. Okay, that's a terrible impression, but they're I see. Welcome to the Hotel Cortez. And the way he talks is, and the way he
great
controls his presence
accent.
is great. And you can kind of buy into that he's this crazy, sadistic guy, but he's also a caring. He also cares for the people who he loves and everything, and he has a certain respect, but he just has this dark side. And he's looked 20 years old for the past 10 years, so he
Yeah.
never ages, which is great. That's good. Johnny Depp didn't age until he got into 2000
Totally
something
married Amber Heard.
until he married Amber Heard, and then he just messed his world up. Um, but yeah, underrated actor, and I think he deserves his own movie. His own. I mean, he probably does have his own movie, but I mean, like, that center is more around him, and not like he's a, a one-off character or something like that. But yeah, Evan Peters.
Now, WandaVision.
Oh,
Um,
haven't seen it.
anyone that doesn't want a spoiler, I'll hold my hand up and you can cover your ears. Evan Peters is in WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
In a very shocking role. It's going to shock everybody.
Really?
Yep.
Is it good?
It is a huge, huge thing that is going to. People are going to shit themselves over it. It's going to be like, wait, but that means, but, so you're saying, but, huh. It's going to change everything in the MCU.
I'll have to watch it.
It's not happened yet, but it's
Oh,
coming.
damn.
They've only
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I believe they only released three episodes of the actual show, um, but it's supposed to be, I guess, a continuation on Vision and Scarlet Witch. That wasn't really addressed in the TV show, which is good. Sorry, having some technical difficulties right now. Um, and they're supposed to go to like a decade. So the first episode's like a '50s sitcom, kind of like I Love Lucy. And then Doc left. He'll be back. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the first episode is kind of like an I Love Lucy type thing. The next one's kind of like Bewitched or something like that. Um, and then the next one would be like more like a Brady Bunch episode. It just kind of goes through the different eras and everything, and which is I think it's interesting. Um, a lot of TV shows. Um, I don't really know a whole lot of superhero shows that was kind of like that. Maybe more the old serials and the Bat. Well, I guess the Batman TV show did that, where it was kind of like they're in a set, and it's like Bruce Wayne walks in like Commissioner, or Batman walks in, he's like Commissioner. Da 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 da. They exchange their dialogue, and it's all dramatic and everything. And then you have the scene, and then you have the scenes where they're in the car with the obvious screen projection behind them, and they're driving and everything. Definitely, I think that's what they're going for, which is an interesting take on it. It's not just an average run of the mill show, kind of like what they're doing on Netflix. So I think it's definitely a good route to go to because it gets people interested. Because like if you have shows like Daredevil, it's dark and gloomy and everything. Unless the characters and or the setting and the story is intriguing enough, the location, the location, the sets, and everything, and the overall presentation can and make a world of difference. Um, but yeah, I think it's an interesting concept what they're doing. I'm really excited for Blade, the new Blade series. I don't know if the actor they got for Blade is the best choice. Mahershala Ali, I believe that's his name. I don't know if I said that right, but Mahershala Ali, he is he was been in several movies. I think he was maybe in a Black Panther movie. I think he has made an appearance in several movies. Nothing I can think of off the top of my head, but a seasoned actor. He said to be the first uh, Muslim actor to be on the MCU.
I believe I'm up.
All
Hey,
right,
I'm back.
sorry about that. Oh, we had some technical difficulties for those listening in. Um, so, but I think we got it fixed, right?
I believe so. Not sure what happened.
Yeah.
I lost my interwebs.
Sorry. No, sorry. I had a ramble. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I was telling them that the WandaVision, the way they were presenting the show, was kind of like a 50s sitcom, and then it's like 60s into the 70s, and it just keeps
Right.
going and progressing to like the different eras of like TV shows and stuff like that. And
I believe
feel like
Gogo's the one responsible for it. I don't know if you saw earlier, but he was on his mirror doing pull-ups. He's about to start it again. I don't know. He was just making as much noise as he could, going between his balls here, and he's got a little plastic thing that he's making banging noise with his mirror. It was like, dude, calm down. And then
Right,
internet
yeah.
went out. I think Go-Go's jealous of you.
Oh man, that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, no, we're just talking about. You're talking about WandaVision and everything. Have you seen the? You've seen the show? Or you started?
Yes, I'm
Started it, or you haven't watched it?
I'm loving the show. I'm very, very happy with it. It's different. It's ballsy. It's it's not for everybody, but if you're a comic book fan, I think you'll like it.
That's good. Vision. I can't wait to see kind of a change of story, but Venom, the second Venom movie.
I like the way they're doing Venom. The movie had its issues, should have been better, could have been better, what have you, but it's a good actor. I think they're doing a good job. I'm happy with it. And Venom 2 looks to be awesome.
I hope so. Man. I hope so.
But Wonder Woman 84 sucked. So who knows?
Yeah, everybody says that. I'm trying to. When it comes out, I will. When it comes out again, I'll see if I can watch it. And
it's not bad. It's just disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you could say that. I wish there was more Wonder Woman in it. I think the idea when they brought Steve Trevor back, I don't think they should have done that. It was an interesting concept. Like, how are they going to bring him back?
Right.
But when you see it in the movie, it's like, well, that's kind of like you have to take this in account. Like, is this guy has just left his job? Because he goes like he's basically with Diana for the rest of the movie,
right?
Until until circumstances happen. Sorry, I mean it's kind of obvious if you watch the Superman movie. He's not there, so it's not a spoiler that he doesn't live to the end of the movie. But in the circumstances of the movie, it's an interesting concept. But the way they go about, making it happen, to me, it raises more questions than it answers.
Yeah.
But I liked Kristen Wiig in the movie. I like Gal Gadot.
Yes.
She's fantastic as Wonder Woman. Kristen Wiig, she's not playing a dumb comedy character. She plays fairly serious. I mean, okay, she has her little moment at the beginning where she meets Diana, and she's like bumbling. She's kind of like the goofy girl and everything. But then there's a scene where she's doing her job and stuff, and you kind of see her progression go on. I just wish there was more to that story, the more build up to her than we got. But I think from what we had, I think she did a pretty good job. She didn't try to make the character cheesy in a way. I think people say the CGI on her didn't look good. I think it looked better.
It's not her fault.
Cats. I mean, I think it looked better than it did on Cats.
Yeah.
So, and Pedro Pascal, it's an interesting character. I don't know how how it's different in the comics because I didn't read the comics.
It's nothing like the comics, but they could have named him something else and it would have been the same, like Max Lord. That Max Lord versus, the Lex Luthor Max Lord ripoff. Max Lord's not a good character in the comics. And he's
right.
He's pretty decent in the movie. I just the Critical Drinker, not me. The Critical Drinker had a video today or yesterday about villains, about how we don't have movie villains anymore. And Wonder Woman 1984 is a great example of it did not have a good villain. And that's my biggest problem with the movie. It's not that the actors did a bad job. It's that none of the villains are scary or evil. You like them, you feel sorry for them, or what have you, or they're just weak. Star Wars has weak villains.
Right.
The new ones.
I think. Well, I mean that's true. But I think also with Star Wars, what it has going for it is the scale and the presentation of it with all the ships and everything, and plus they got the old movies with merchandising and stuff like that. I don't feel like even the series never died with the first three movies. People
Right.
still had Star Wars merchandise, and it was still, even if they stopped at the first three movies, I still think there was enough there to be able
Yep.
to like live on for like the rest of the time they would have been around.
It's just Kylo Ren was a pussy who got his ass beat in the first movie. And
Yeah,
then in the second movie, all he does is cry. And then the third movie, he's a bad guy for 5 minutes, and then he becomes a good guy.
yeah. I think they should have. I wish they wouldn't have like shown who he is. Like obviously we know who he is, but
Right.
I wish they would have just kept it like Darth Vader, you know, and everything.
At least wait until the end of the first movie to be like, boom.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Good actor. Very good actor.
Yeah,
He's a former Marine, but otherwise he seems like a good guy.
okay. We don't want to start a problem. Marines, for all the Marines out there, Doc is sorry. You're gonna run up. We don't.
For all the Marines out there, come into my bar. I will buy you a drink and then make fun of you because Army.
Right. My trainer was telling me that I should go into the Air Force instead of the Army.
Air Force has a lot of great things, and there are some negative things. Too strict on tattoos, too strict on weight, too strict on dependence. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be flying planes, so.
Most of the Air Force doesn't.
Right. What I'm going in for is military police. So. That's the.
That means my Uranus shirt that I love wearing means you'll get one.
Your what?
You know that Uranus shirt that I wear all the time?
I don't think so. Is it the fudge?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I saw somebody at where I work was wearing one of those shirts. I kid you not.
It is at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, which is where MPs do their training at.
Nice. Missouri.
So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, cold.
Oh fuck. I'm sorry. Hi, local legends. We didn't address you, but we saw your name. I was just trying to figure out a way to put you in there. Local legend. Sorry we didn't. I know you came in on one of the old other live streams where we had a bunch of technical difficulties. It seems like every one of these shows we have something goes wrong, but we fix it. But I just want to say hello. If you watch this back, hello. So yeah, how's everything doing? If you're still watching, probably not. That's okay. But yeah, no, going into the military, that's a big thing. But no, he was telling me that the one thing about the Air Force is going to be easier than it is. I say easier than the Army because like I said, the Army, like he said the Army was stricter on like I don't know. I don't know. The way he described it was much more intelligent than I can describe it. But
the Army is going to be stricter when it comes to PT tests, physical tests, and medical exams. Yes. The Air Force is more strict when it comes to tattoos, when it comes to weight and stuff like that, because they don't give waivers out like the Army does. I had to get waivers for having too many kids. I had to get a waiver for having too many tattoos. I had to get a tattoo for criminal background or criminal record. Nothing major. One charge I had to get a waiver from the FBI for.
Huh. What was the charge? What happened?
Underage drinking.
Oh. See,
I'm
a good kid. I don't do stuff.
It got categorized as a possession charge. Because technically, possession of alcohol, yeah, no one cares. But it's like, actually, that's a possession charge. It's like a drug possession. So, yeah. Really? So, yeah, there was that.
So it seems a little much. Yeah. But yeah. What's your next underrated?
Um, this one is Jack Noseworthy. Jack Noseworthy. I came across him a long time ago on a show called Dead at 21 on MTV. It was one of their first like TV shows back when they still had music. It was a good show. He was this long-haired redheaded kid, and he was really entertaining. And then I saw him in Barbed Wire. He did a very Brady sequel or something. He played the rock and roll guy. He's a good actor. He's just in the wrong. He was in the wrong decade. If he came around 10 years earlier, then he would have been doing everything Eric Stoltz did. He could have had a much bigger career, but he just came along at the wrong time. Everything he does a good job. He just doesn't seem to get the roles that he should.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
Barbed
He
Wire.
he also did a John Bon Jovi video. Always.
Was he in the video or did he?
Yeah, he's in the video. He plays Bobby Kennedy, and he does like this crazy good job. I mean, anytime they cast him, he does a great job. He's fantastic. He just never gets the attention, never got the right role, never got a breakout.
Right. I think that makes sense. I think
It's like,
there's a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, it's like Nathan Fillion from Castle, and now on The Rookie on ABC. Great actor, was getting all these little roles. Saving Private Ryan. He started out on the same show that Ryan Reynolds started out on. Those two did Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. Yeah, they started out on that show together, and Ryan Reynolds, he caught a big break and blew up. And Nathan Fillion, 15 years later, got a big break and became a big TV star.
Yeah. I think there's some people who, like I said, there are people who can do that. But the thing about some movies is that if you get cast in these like movies, right, like you're in these types of things, kind of like I would say Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal was really big in the '90s. He got really big when he did several movies that were like really popular,
Yep.
and he just kind of fell off. But he always stuck with those same type of movies.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of fell into that. You're like, oh, like yeah, he does these movies, but he's going to be doing it for a long time. And then but he got his big break early, and now he's, and now he's kind of obscure and kind of like one of those people you're like, oh, Steven Seagal,
Right.
But you got people like this guy, like, yeah, he might not be as well known, but he has a lot better quality stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
He tends to do a better job. He doesn't make it hard. I'm sure he doesn't make it hard for all his people who work around him, like Steven Seagal does.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it might not be as big stuff like him, but it's better quality stuff, better made stuff, better acted, and that's what matters.
Well, it's like Ben Stiller. His dad stayed in the business for 50 years until he blew up and became, from Seinfeld and King of Queens.
Yeah, he was good in that show.
Yeah.
And he was in oh yeah, you said Seinfeld. I forgot what else he was in. He's in like several movies.
Right.
It's like, yeah, this guy, yeah. I forgot what else he was in. But anyway, yeah. I mean, but I think what matters, if like you can be in one TV show, right? You can be in one TV show that kind of big, popular. Let's say, I don't know, something like the Brady Bunch. That's a bad example because it's campy and stupid. But like if you're on the Brady Bunch when you're a kid, right?
Right.
And the show was, popular, but it was decently acted. It wasn't like campy. It was stupid, but it wasn't like
Right.
campy. It was well acted. The people there seemed like they were enjoying themselves, and it was an entertaining show, iconic. But if you only did that show, let's say you did that show and you just like kind of became obscure at that point. But then you got these people that are like, oh yeah, we've been in Hollywood for 30 years, and they did like
Right.
two movies, a couple movies here and there, and then they kind of like do the straight to DVD, straight to video. I think that's what Bruce Willis, in my opinion, is doing now. Like 90s, well, one of the best decades for Bruce Willis was in the 90s.
Huge TV star in the 80s. And then, boom, 87 or 88 blows up and owns the 90s.
Right. And like he did, was it the whole 9 yards? Was that a 90s or early?
Yes. 2000s? Early 2000s would have been the whole 9 yards. But he did the 3 Die Hard movies. He did Last Boy Scout. Last Boy Scout. Everyone forgets that movie. It's so good.
The Sixth Sense.
Yes.
He did, Fifth Element, which he's good in that movie.
Yeah.
I like him. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of entertaining in that movie.
Tears of the Sun.
Yeah.
Shungus.
The Die Hard movies.
Yes. 3 great ones and 2 decent ones and 1 bad one.
Yeah, 1 bad one. Well, I mean, do you consider the last one the bad one or the
Yes.
3 Die Hard?
Yes. Okay. So the last one is a bad movie. No saving qualities.
Thrasher Bleach, how you doing, my man?
I just started following you on Twitter, young man.
Thrasher Bleach. You're on Twitter? You didn't tell me you was on Twitter?
He was on someone's Twitter. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a friend of mine.
Our buddy from California.
I don't know.
He has a really cool opening. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, Video Creep?
Yeah. I couldn't think of the creep part. Like Videorama, no.
Videorama. Yeah, it was a Blockbuster Video. That was his name. Family Video. But yeah, I mean, if I had one TV show that I got popular in and was entertaining, good, well acted, and everything, and did that, and I had like 2 movies that was good, and the rest of them are crap. I'd rather be known for that one TV show than 2 good movies and then 50 shitty ones. So
right.
Just saying that's just me. But yeah, that's a good pick. Mine is I don't know if he's really well known. Colin Hanks.
Nice. Yes, Colin Hanks is so good, and he doesn't cash in on his dad's name either.
No, he doesn't. It's like I don't know if Chet Hanks does, but he's kind of
yeah, Chet Hanks is wild.
Yeah, he puts himself out there to where he's known that he's Tom Hanks' son. That's gotta be kind of embarrassing. Not gonna lie, but I think did Sage really do that when he was younger, or when he was trying to get big? Was he trying to cash in on his dad's name?
I don't think so.
because I don't remember. Yeah, he was in a couple movies with him, but I don't think I don't think he was really trying to cash in on the name.
Yeah. Well, look at you were talking about the movie Tenet. How much you enjoyed the actor in Tenet?
Yeah, David. Yeah,
Didn't
like
even realize it was Denzel Washington's kid.
no, I didn't, which is great. I mean, that's even better. I didn't know that. Um, you know, looked like Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore came from a long line of Hollywood, uh, popular Hollywood actors, but I don't know her dad's grandfather's name. I know Drew Barrymore.
John John Wilkes Booth is one of her ancestors, who killed Abraham Lincoln.
Damn, she's a cold bitch and take.
No, honestly, the only one that I knew uh, was John Barrymore, and I knew him completely separately from Drew because John Barrymore was the first one in the U.S. To play Hamlet, to do the soliloquy, to be or not to be. He did it sitting down, and yeah, I know that sounds stupid, but in the 40s, late 40s, it was like that was a huge deal. Like, how crazy, how punk rock of him to do that scene sitting down. Truth is, he was too drunk to stand. So he would sit down for that one because he sat down because he couldn't remember the blocking, and he just sat down and was like, to be or not to be, whether it is nobler. And yeah, so I knew him from school. And it was many years later when it's like, Drew Barrymore, her grandfather was. Really? Huh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Lon, Lon Chaney. I mean, Lon Chaney Jr. I should say. I mean,
Right.
his dad obviously was Lon Chaney Sr., who was the Phantom of the Opera, but he was in the silent era, and he didn't just like, oh yeah, this is my dad. He does a couple movies, kind of obscure. No, Lon Chaney Jr. Sorry, I need to specify. Lon Chaney Jr. had a long career, and much after his dad passed away, he made his own
Yes.
character. He made his image iconic. Uh, that's due to the Jack Pierce makeup and everything, but he made his characters iconic,
Yes.
and he got his name out there, and he became his own person. He became his own image, and not so much had to rely on his dad's name, although he is using his dad's name for the thing.
Right.
But
But
when
it
I think of
wasn't.
here Lon Chaney, I don't automatically think of Lon Chaney Sr. I
Right.
think of Junior. So I mean, it just shows you the iconic of the name and what you identify that as. You
Like
know,
Freddie Prince was a famous comedian, and Freddie Prince Jr. isn't funny,
yeah,
but
is this
he's
not?
married to a really hot. He married Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he's been active in Star Wars
Nice.
doing voice acting for a decade now. So good for him.
Kind of cool. Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to Freddie Prince. And as said, when I heard about that, I was like, oh my god, really? He was on I forgot what was the TV show he was on.
Chico and the Man.
Thank you. Yes.
Can you believe he
Um,
was only 20 when he killed himself?
yeah. How need to find another way to phrase that.
I'm sorry. When he self-deleted, he was 20 years old.
Yes, when he's 20 years old. Yeah, and it's unfortunate. But that's depression's crazy, man. That's what it does to you. I've seen it firsthand, and everything, and so it's rough. Um, but I mean, his son went on to make such classics as Scooby Doo,
Yes, she's all that.
um, and he was on several late '90s. She's all that, um, and everything. So I mean, he has a career, like he's notable, and things like that. Um,
And he's been in
but I
every
mean,
Star Wars cartoon they've ever
but
made.
it's unfortunate that he outlived his dad. Not only sorry,
No, no, you're good. Am I freezing up?
no, I say it's crazy to think that he outlived his. Yeah, a little bit. that he outlived his dad and everything, and his career has been longer. But yet his dad, like the thing, his the what his dad did in that TV show, is still has stood the test of time, and has not. I mean, I guess it could be kind of obscure now because there's a lot of more iconic TV shows, but that name Freddie Prince, some people still associate it with the dad and not necessarily him, even though his son's been around a lot longer than he had. So I think that just shows you the name. It's like the Lon Chaney Jr. When people think of Lon Chaney, they think of the Wolfman, and not his dad, who was the Phantom of the Opera, or the man. I forgot the other silent film he was in. So it's just crazy. But go back to Colin Hanks. He is a good dramatic actor, and he doesn't take his. I don't. I've never really seen him in a comedy, but he's not really relying on the comedy as much as his dad did. Like he did. I don't think I've ever seen him in like a movie like The Bachelor Party.
No.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen the movie, but yeah, I'm trying to think of something he's done like that.
I mean, I think that something that's close to that would be the Jumanji movie, but he doesn't really have a funny segment in that movie.
Right.
Are you
He's.
watching?
I'm watching on the phone to try to make sure I don't jack up, freeze up,
Right.
mess up. He plays some funny, humorous parts in serious roles, and seems like he plays serious roles in some funny movies. But yeah, I can't think of him ever being funny in a funny movie.
Yeah. He's believable as the straight guy,
Yeah.
and King Kong. He plays I can't remember if it's a writer, cinematographer, or what exactly he does. I know lack of preparation, but he plays a certain character where he's kind of like the straight man to Jack Black's. He's like, we got to do it. We got
Yeah.
to do it now. We got to do it quick. We got to get it done. And he's like, we need to take our time. And you could definitely buy him as being the straight guy. Okay, the straight character, the straight man,
Right.
in a
Yeah.
show, not
It's
the straight
always
guy.
it's always been called the straight guy, and recently it's been the straight guy. Oh, as opposed to the gay one. No.
I gotta specify for all you damn commies out there want to correct me on YouTube. So, but yeah, I think the way he plays his characters, he always plays it straight. He never tries to do anything. He never tries to uh, make it cheesy, or he always does it. And it's also dramatic. He's very dramatic. He has the eyes, like his dad. Okay, this is gonna sound weird. Tom Hanks, when he was younger, he has some pretty eyes. Not gonna lie. He has.
Yeah.
He could tell the emotion in his face, in his eyes, and which is a good acting, because on stage it's body. You have to use your body and everything. But when you're you're on screen, when you're on a movie, you got to work on. You got to use the face. You got to show emotion in the face, and he does that uh, pretty well and everything, and very underrated. I mean, when you look up some of the stuff, when you look up, Hanks, he's right. He's up there with his dad and everything. Pretty young. Like he looks. I don't know how much different he looks now, but he's pretty. He looks young, but he's like in his 40s. He's almost 50 years old.
Wow.
His dad's what,
Makes
in
me
his
feel bad.
60s, 70s, something like that.
Yeah. I know.
How old
I
is
just thought of a comedy that he did. Orange County. His
He's
first
younger than
one.
my parent, but he's what was one of his comedies?
Sorry, Orange County.
Orange County. Oh, is that the one with Jack Black?
Yeah, he plays a comedic role in a comedy movie. That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, but it's not like I don't know. It's not like in Rush Hour where Chris Tucker is like the funny guy and Jackie
Right.
Chan is kind of the straight man. You know. Um, but yeah, no, definitely underrated. Very serious, dramatic actor, and worth checking out his movies if you haven't seen them. Yeah. What's your next one?
Hmm. My next one, and my apologies if you believe this is cheating, but Jean Reno, French actor. You'll know him from the
I don't know who that is.
2000 uh, Godzilla movie. He's in the Meg Ryan movie French Kiss. He's in the first Mission Impossible movie. Uh, he did The Deep Blue with Rosanna Arquette. And he is a French actor who's had some success in the United States. But the part that's always impressed me is that he is so good at accents. When you watch him in the French version of The Big Blue, he's speaking Italian, or he's speaking French with an Italian accent. That's cool. But then when you watch him in the American version, he's speaking English with an Italian accent. Now, you could be good at accents, but can you speak with an Australian accent while you're speaking Portuguese?
Right.
Like, that's impressive as hell. Plus, he's in the hardly anyone's heard of it, but there's a movie called Wasabi where he plays this big tough guy detective who goes to Japan for a case and finds out he has a teenage daughter that he didn't know about. So you got this big tough guy French, uh, big muscle bodybuilder type with this little tiny Japanese girl, and it's a good movie.
Nice. What other like movies has he been in? Like
Uh,
that are more popular.
he just did a movie somewhat recently, 22 Bullets. That was it was on it's an Amazon original.
Oh well,
He usually plays a bad guy. Let's see what I can pull up. Oh shit! I'm an idiot. The movie The Professional with shit. The girl from Star Wars.
Daisy Ridley.
Natalie Portman. When Natalie Portman's a little kid and she hires a hitman.
Damn.
Yeah, The Professional. He's this hitman who kills Gary Oldman in a movie. He did the Robert De Niro movie Ronin.
I think I heard. I think I've heard about it. Yeah, or heard of it. Not Ronin 47 with Keanu Reeves.
Right. But the Robert De Niro movie Ronin.
Oh, okay. I've heard that before. I have to check it out.
Oh, he's in the Da Vinci Code. I haven't watched any of those though. I'm Catholic.
Me too.
I'm not allowed to.
It's like The Exorcist. Have you seen The Exorcist?
No, see, I can watch The Exorcist. Yeah, I love The Exorcist. Great movie. Yeah, Godzilla, Ronin, those are, and Leon the Professional. Those are the ones you'd probably know him from. And Mission Impossible. He was the big guy with the knife that he throws at Tom Cruise.
I have to watch it again. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
But that's why he's an underrated actor.
The French Connection. I need to watch that. Sorry, that's not the same as you were saying, The Professional, but When you said French, I was thinking of the
Yeah.
French Connection with Gene Hackman.
It's a good movie. Popeye Doyle.
Popeye.
That's the name of the character. Is Popeye Doyle.
It's kind of weird.
Al Bundy from Married to Children and Modern Family. He plays Popeye Doyle in a made-for-TV sequel.
Nice. Is
In
it
like
bad?
no, it's actually pretty good, but it's like 1985 or something. It's weird.
That movie came out, what, 72? 75? Or later than that?
Yes. I'm going to say 76, but that's a total guess.
Oh, I don't know. But Gene Hackman, he looked old in that movie. He's looked old.
Yeah, he did.
I'm sorry. He's looked. There are some people that looked old ever since you've watched them on TV. Okay.
Wow,
Betty White,
1971.
71. Fuck. We were off a little bit.
You were close. You said 72.
Yeah. But no, Betty White. She just turned 99. Happy birthday, by the way. She was in the Golden Girls in 1985 to the late 90s.
Yes.
And then
And she was the oldest one on the cast then.
Yeah. And now she's 99 years old. But, and this is going to sound creepy, but Betty White, even though she was in her 60s, maybe, at the time, she didn't look bad for her age.
Right.
That sounds creepy, but she didn't look bad for her age. She looked pretty good. Now, I would say Pat Benatar. What's her name? Blanche. Oh, they look like older. They definitely looked older. But Betty White, although she was obviously an older woman, she did not look as older as the rest of the cast.
Betty White is so old, and this isn't a punchline.
Sliced bread.
She actually is older than sliced bread. Like, when you say the greatest thing since sliced bread, she's older than sliced bread. So sliced bread is the greatest thing since Betty White. But no, Betty White got started. Her first as a model, and one of her first modeling gigs was she posed for topless playing cards for World War II soldiers.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, back in the late 30s, early 40s. And her first TV show was the number 2 TV show on television for many years. She was number 2 of all TV shows, called Life with Elizabeth. And I have a whole season on DVD because it's so good. It's been 70 years and it still holds up.
If anybody comes across this video and as a collector, please send those topless Betty White cards to us so we can save. Not for creepy reasons, just so we can have them. Not for nothing weird. Just so I can say you want to see a picture of Betty White naked? Here.
When I get into my storage unit, I'll see if I can find some copies.
That's funny. But anyway, no, that's awesome. Like, yeah, she's been popular for a long time. Like, she had her own TV show. Like you said, her own TV show back in the 50s. Like, she had her, like, it was like the Betty White show or whatever.
Megan Burrow was the only one that could beat her in the ratings.
Burrow. Gosh, he's been dead for what? How many years?
A long time. 20 at least.
Yeah, what's like George Burns. I brought up George Burns to one of my teachers. He's like, George Burns, wow. Like, he was saying, he brought it up. He's like, yeah, George Burns, he had his own popular TV show back in the 40s, in the 50s with his wife and everything. And George Burns, he was still kicking, doing comedy. And I don't know if he was doing comedy all the way up until his death, but he was putting out albums and stuff like that in the 70s. He looked like he was 80 years old back in 1972. He passed away in 1990.
Yeah.
He passed away back in 1996. 1996 or 99. Anyway, he lived to be 100 years old. A good comedian. He was he a singer? Or is he not a singer?
Sort of. I mean, he sang, but I wouldn't call him a singer.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't like that guy, John Mellencamp, the guy who was in the Squirrel song. You know he did the song about the
The
or the
Mississippi
Streaker
Squirrel.
song. Yeah, there you go. Or who's
That's Ray Stevens.
Yeah, thank you. Out of John Mellencamp. I don't know why that name came to mind, but yeah. Or the Streaker song. They call him the Streaker.
Yeah.
That one. Uh, he's a comedian, but he sings like kind of funny songs about stupid stuff, and he has like sound effects and stuff like that in the story. And
Guitar Zan.
that's the
Sorry. Get me on a rambling on a Ray Stevens.
Yeah. But no, George Burns he played God back in 1973, 74 with John Denver. If that doesn't date his career, but he was doing interviews with Johnny Carson back in the 60s when he got started, all the way up until he retired from the show. So George Burns has been acting and doing comedy and stuff like that since Johnny Carson started from his comedy show back when he did Late Night with Johnny Carson. Was it Late Night or Tonight Show?
The Tonight Show. In fact, before Johnny Carson was on The Tonight Show, it was Steve Allen on The Tonight Show. And George Burns was on the Steve Allen Show.
It's crazy.
Or the Tonight Show with Steve Allen.
And he did James was it Cagney? Or who was the guy? He was really, that's what his guy was. If Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, it's kind of like those two guys, you put them together. Or like Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. It was George Burns and James Cagney, wasn't it? It was another comedic actor who was kind of like his number two.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
If that is wrong, I apologize. But it's definitely golden age of like TV. Like, that's like prime. That was like when TV like variety shows and stuff like that was getting big too. So plus comedy was definitely changing. You know,
it's funny how there are things you could say back then that you can't say now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hell, even in the 80s, like take a Richard Pryor. If Richard Pryor was still alive today and he performed his shows that he would perform back in the 80s, and he performed it now, like it would definitely get different reviews. It would get different, mixed reactions. Or Eddie Murphy.
I want to see. My brother and I wanted to do a thing where we were going to record my nephew and some of his friends watching Eddie Murphy Raw.
Oh God!
And like
available on Netflix if you want to watch it. Eddie Murphy Raw. I remember I watched it. I snuck that into my room. It was late at night. I had the DVD player, and I snuck it into my room, and I watched that movie, and I laughed. It was hilarious. Even as a kid, even as a middle schooler, I watched that, and I laughed because it was entertaining. It was fun. Eddie Murphy, he's so charismatic and everything. And Delirious, I watched that too. I had to pirate that, so that wasn't really good. But I watched Delirious and Raw and Rodney Carrington. I grew up watching.
Oh man, BEERRUN, Beer Run.
That or Titties and Beer.
Yep. Or my mama's got her tits out.
Don't look now, your mama's got her boobs out, showing everybody around. No, I told my mom, I said, I'm going to sing that when we go to karaoke at the VFW where I live. They have to do karaoke night. And I said, I'm going to sing that. And it's going to be weird, but I'm going to sing it one night. Because it's true. My mom, when she drinks some things that she just loses all sense of stability and everything. So, yeah. I'm gonna sing that for like when she has her birthday or something. I'll go up there and I'll do it. I've never sang at karaoke. I always make fun of people who do sing at karaoke because it's fun to make fun of other people. But then when you get up there, okay, I sang once, but I was singing with somebody else, but not by myself.
I am trying to organize a karaoke night, but people probably don't want to get up there and do it. So I figured what I could do is I'm going to get up there and sing I'm a Barbie girl. After that, what are you going to look dumb? Like, you're going to follow me singing I'm a Barbie girl. Trust me, you won't look that dumb.
That's true. No, there's this 90-year-old man, guy named Paul. 90 years old. Served either between World War II or Korea around that time. That's when he served. He gets up there. Every time I go up there, he's always up there. He has a couple pints, like the big tall glasses of a beer, like you see in like a,
Yeah.
you know, and he has like a couple of those, and he goes up there and he sings the song Jambalaya by Hank Williams Sr. And that's his song he sings every time he goes up there. It's that one or Folsom Prison by Johnny Cash.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
Those are his headlining songs. That's like when he goes up there and sings, that's his thing. He had not too long ago, he had a girlfriend there. She was a young lady. She's about 20, 30 years younger than he was, but it's
right. When you're a stud that sings Folsom
Prison, yeah,
then you get the young ladies. You get all the ladies.
Yeah. It was pretty funny to see. But yeah, 90. No, still it doesn't matter how old you are. If you still got some fight left in you, don't sit in a nursing home and just die. Don't just sit there. Go have fun. If you can get up and have fun, have fun. Take a bus if you have to. You can't even your kids won't let you drive. Fuck them. Take a bus.
Go out with your boots on.
Yep. Go out there, put your best blue jeans on with your overalls, and just have a good time. No, people come in there, like older people, they'll come in there. They wear some overalls, and they have a denim, like a shirt, like a flannel shirt tucked in to the overalls. And they wear boots. That's what they wear. It's just one of those things, man.
Yep.
But yeah, enjoy life. Don't be scared to put yourself out there. I guess he probably reached a certain age where he's like, what, screw it. I'm just gonna do this. I'll put myself out there, have fun, and he's probably having fun. But like, is he just gonna sit there and just sit in his house and do nothing, get fat? And no, he's gonna go out and drink. He's gonna hang out with women 30, 40 years younger than he is, and have fun. Possibly go home with one of them, but they got to talk to their nurse first before they do anything. So,
right,
it's both of their nurses actually. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. If you want to sit at home and just do nothing till you die, that's up to you. But me, I want to live. That's a Johnny Cash lyric, I think. I want to live till I die, or something like that.
In my defense, I was left unsupervised. I'm here to break shit. Bad decisions make good stories. I'm a bad influence, but damn, I'm fun. Which one am I going to replace I pull out with? Because I've had this one up there for a while.
I think you should do I was unsupervised. I think you should do that.
Sounds good.
I was unsupervised.
So I just noticed it. So is it your turn or mine for the next
ASMR? My microphone almost fell over. Oh man. But yeah, it's. I forgot, what was we talking about? We were talking about.
Yeah. And then Gene Hackman, and then looking old, and then old people, and then Rodney Carrington, and then karaoke, and then life is fun.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's definitely crazy for some people to live that long. There's a guy, Norman Lloyd. He's 105 years old, still acting in Hollywood. It's like Betty White. Betty White she was just in the Toy Story movie.
Yeah.
She just did a voice work on Toy Story. So, she's still active in Hollywood. Maybe not acting so much to say, but could be lending her voice. I mean, I don't see why not. That's what I would do if I couldn't stand up and act. I would.
My grandmother passed away somewhat recently, in her 90s. Well, she was 88 or 89 years old, and she calls me while I was in town visiting, and she's like, "Hey, I need you to come here and give me a hand moving something." "You at the house?" "No, I'm up at the barn." So I walk like a quarter mile to the barn from the house. There was something killing her chickens. So a bobcat, like a 60-pound cat, big scary wild cat, these things will tear you up. She sat out there and ambushed one and beat it to death with a shovel. But it was too big for her to drag. So she had me come there and help her drag this giant killing machine. As far as old people never giving up. And Teresa Bustle left you a comment about Rodney Carrington.
That's kind of cool. You met him. I can imagine, and not to sound mean or disrespectful to Rodney Carrington, I imagine when he drinks, he's probably very. If you've seen his comedy, if anybody here has seen his comedy, very raunchy, very inappropriate. I imagine when he is after a concert, he probably is very wild. I don't know so much now. He might down a dozen donuts now, but have you seen him? Did you watch his last Netflix special?
I don't have Netflix, so I haven't.
Oh, damn it! I'm sorry. Yeah,
I don't know if
he did a Netflix special a couple years ago, and he gained a lot of weight. Look up Fat Rodney Carrington. You'll see what he looks like.
nice.
But but no, we were talking about. We always talk about, like, he has a decent voice. Like, I don't know why he doesn't do music, or he does. Okay, he does music, but he's kind of like Ray Stevens. He does comedy music that's kind of inappropriate, but it's funny, but his voice, like, if he actually tried to make a song,
Yes.
it would sound pretty decent. So what was it like working with him? Was he kind of a handful, or was he just a kind of down to earth guy? I actually have a couple family members who used to work for several singers and stuff like that. Reba, one of my family members used to work for Reba when she used to be local around here. She wasn't as big at the time, so she was still doing small town shows, like at the YMCA or something like that. Okay, maybe not the YMCA, but she was doing small little shows and stuff like that. So they would work with Reba, so they got to be hang out with her behind the stage, and talk to her and everything, and yeah.
The lead singer of Shinedown owes me $20 because I drank more shots than he did in one sitting.
Did he not have the money?
No, he just hasn't gotten around to paying. Didn't get around to paying me. He did. It was before a show or after a show, and we didn't have cash on us.
Oh.
But this was so long ago. He was playing at a bar called MF Hooligans in Richmond, Kentucky. And the bar would only seat 70 people.
Dang, that's a startup of you if I haven't heard one. It's like what do you call it? Oh, it's like watching that scene in Blues Brothers where they're at that bar, that really country bar, and they're throwing bottles. There's like chicken wire over the screen. They're throwing bottles and shit at them. I'm like, oh my god. I think Was that an actual thing? Did you ever see that in a bar? When
Yes, I've seen it in bars. I was doing a show in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and they had chicken wire up around the stage.
That's crazy. They have it in Roadhouse too, with the singer
Yes.
was singing there. They had it in Roadhouse too, which he passed away several years ago. Not recently, but like he passed away.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought that was like a fake. Like that was always a thing they put in movies. Does like I don't know, like a bad place. Like oh, they have to put up chicken wire around the stage, just like because it's such a rough place to play in. You know.
Yes.
But yeah.
The two things that you see in movies all the time that you don't see often in real life, you generally only see them in black strip clubs in the South, which is a thing. Go to Columbus, Georgia, and yes, they have chicken wire up around the stripper pole. Yes, because people throw things.
That's crazy. That's terrible.
Yes, and in redneck bars in Texas and Louisiana. Those are the two places that I've seen it.
I've never seen. I've never seen it at a bar. I don't frequent many bars either, but in any of the bars that I've been to, I've never seen it over a stage or in front of a stage or anything like that. I have, and I did tell you the story on the stream. But if anybody else who'd never heard it, I did witness a newly wedded bride ride a bull at her reception, at her wedding reception, while the husband stood there and watched, and he was just like having a hoot, like he was just enjoying it. It was funny.
Speaking of newlyweds, I just took a picture. I'm going to send it to you. It's nothing bad.
Yeah, he's sending me a pic.
It made me chuckle.
Is it on Instagram
Cool.
or not Instagram? Twitter.
And on Instagram.
Yeah, and on Instagram. Sorry, I don't like to say Instagram. I'm so used to that.
Because that's the one you use.
Yeah.
Right? Made me chuckle.
That's kind of funny. Hey, I know you're late, Alan. Shame on you. You should be late.
She is pretty good about watching the whole stream after the fact, but yeah, she worked today, so
Oh,
she's
okay. All right.
she napped.
That's good. I hate to do this, and I hate that you're already here, but you just got here. But I actually think that we're going to cut it off at there. As an hour and 13 minutes.
Yes. And we try to aim it an hour, never over 1 hour and a half.
Right. Yeah.
So usually whenever there's a good lull between the two.
Right. That's fine. That's fine, Alan. I mean, yeah, you'll usually catch it. It takes a minute for it to process, so if you watch it later, that's fine. Doc, we had some technical issues in it a little bit, but we got it taken care of. So I just want to say thank you for all for coming in and watching and listening. Thank you, Doc, for joining me again on the stream.
Anytime, every time.
Aaron, Alan, Teresa, Thrasher Bleach, and Local Legends. I believe that's all we had. On who was in the chat talking to us. Thank you guys. Hope we answered your questions. If we didn't, I apologize. Like I said, I think we're going to change the schedule after January. We're going to go to every other Tuesday, so the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of the month. So starting February, the next episode, or not the next, the episode in February will be, hold on, it'll be the 2nd of February. The next one will be the 16th. So for any of you who are interested in watching that, we'll hope to see you there. I guess thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Doc, again, and I'll see you on the next one.